What's up, dude?
Hey man, how are you, Chad?
Good. How are you? What is this fucking room you're in?
Yeah, dude, this is my home studio. Welcome to my home. Yeah, this 27 years of rocking this radio ranch in Minneapolis, and I got some Mudvayne down here, brother. I got lost and found down here, and I have I don't remember. I got another plaque over here from you all years ago. So yeah,
Really?
this is. I got a couple of dimes guitars up there, dude, and all the Pantera. Pretty rad, pretty rad. I mean, it's just again, this is my 27 years of my life. Look at that, dude. That's so rad, so
Yeah.
rad.
And I
That's
got
it.
that. I got that from Vinny. He gave me that.
Oh,
The deal
cool.
was, he gave me that and some Dime Vision plaques and a Pantera greatest hits. When they did the Great Southern Far Beyond, whatever the greatest hits thing they did. He
Yeah.
gave me that gold or platinum plaque. And the deal was, he's like, I want 6 Mudvayne plaques. He's like, how many gold records you got? I'm like, well, I got 3. He's like,
Yeah.
all right. He's like, I want 6. I want one of each from my house, and I want one of each from the clubhouse. I'm like, all right. So I gave him 6 plaques, and he gave me this, like, because I walked in his house and he had 2 of these, like, so there's a big long,
Yeah, I'm trying to just get a look at it there. That's pretty
yeah,
rad.
yeah, it's double platinum,
Yeah, man.
fucking vulgar plaque,
Dude, that stuff is in my veins, just like you. You know what I mean? Pantera. Forever,
dude.
forever love with that
I mean,
band. So, look, man, I know, you and I are supposed to catch up right after the fourth. We were supposed to wrap, and obviously we're supposed to promote the show here. That's what's up. Megadeth, Mudvayne, and Destroy All Enemies. September 24th, the Armory, Minneapolis. That's when y'all are playing. There's the details. People, go buy your tickets. Go to the fucking show. All right, that's all we got to say about that. Let's talk about something more important, dude. And here it
yeah.
is: barbecue, smoking meat.
Oh
Let's talk
yeah,
about that.
oh yeah, dude. Oh
So,
yeah. So
so
my
check this out, really, really quick, Chad. Just to bring that for, like, why are we talking about that? I was in a bar in northern Wisconsin that just before the fourth, and I was told I was going to be talking to you like the day before, and I'm up there for the fourth weekend, hanging out, and in this small little dinky bar, and on satellite radio, you and Shannon come on Ozzy's Boneyard and
oh
just
yeah, yeah.
happen to be on. I'm like, holy shit, I'm talking to Chad here like in the next couple of days. And I'm hearing you guys talk about the marinades you're making and smoking meat for her
Oh
birthday
yeah,
that
yeah,
was
yeah,
coming up.
yeah.
Yeah,
Totally,
dude. Yeah. So
totally,
that's
yeah.
all I was like, oh my God, because I love smoking meat and stuff. So how did it all turn out? That's what I want to hear.
It was fucking great. So I got fucking, I can't even think, and I can't believe I'm spacing that name of it. But I go to a butcher's shop here called the Butcher's Block in
Hmm.
Vegas, and I walk in and I ask him, I was like, "Do you got pork belly?" And they're like, "Yeah, we got blah blah this, just the regular." And he's like, "But we've got like 10 pounds of this Cadoba or something like that,
Okay.
and it's basically like the Wagyu
Oh,
of
right
pork,
on. Butter.
of
Just butter
pork
when you
belly.
get it there, I bet.
Yeah,
Yeah. Okay.
of pork belly. So
Sure.
I got about 15 pounds of pork belly. I did so I make pork belly burn ends or whatever.
Okay.
And if you've ever had like brisket
So,
burn ends, they're
So,
fucking
dude,
amazing.
I've only heard, I'm just a novice now. I'm just getting into smoking meats, and I hear about pork belly all the time. I don't really know a lot about it. Can you explain what the flavor, what the texture is like, what's it taste like?
I mean, it's pork belly. It's basically fucking it's on a level. It's bacon. You know what I
Okay,
mean?
sure,
Like,
sure,
but I do it like, so. If you've ever had brisket burn
yeah,
ends
okay,
or whatever,
sure,
like, which most people know about. So it's basically a pork belly version of brisket burn ends. So it's pork belly burn ends, and they
okay,
are fucking lights out, man.
awesome.
It's a short smoke. It's about 6 hours or whatever, which you want to marinate it. I marinated in Coca-Cola.
I heard you say
And
something about a whiskey marinade that you had too. I don't know if you used it with this one.
yeah, I
Didn't
did.
you say
I
something
did.
about that? Okay,
No, I didn't with this one. This one was Coca-Cola and brown sugar.
right.
And I let that marinate for 24 hours. And I pulled that out. And then what I did, so I actually did this before the marinade. So I like took the pork belly out. I cut it in 2 different pieces, 2 5-pound pieces,
Hmm.
right? Because I wanted to do 2 different flavors. So I did one more of a standard barbecue flavor,
Hmm.
and then I did one more of an Asian, like Korean type.
Awesome.
Yeah. So what you do is you take that 5 pounds and you slice it down to the skin, right? You don't go all the way through. Don't cut all the way through. You can, but this way you don't cut it all the way through, but you go all the way to the bottom. You cut it across, and you make cubes, right? But it's all held together by that one layer of skin.
Sure.
And then you get that fucking marinade. But when you do that, like you're exposing more what's going to be exterior flesh.
Surface area. Sure.
You're creating more surface area.
Yep.
And so yeah, you marinate it like that, and you pull that shit out, and then you know, like I just took because like with the barbecue side, especially with pork belly, you want it to be really fucking sweet. Sure. And there are a lot of, but like sweet is weird for me. Like it's like just can be like, ugh, you know, off-putting or whatever, because it's like too much.
Mm-hmm.
So I just took what is it? What's the fucking big, just the regular big barbecue sauce, white label. I can't think of it. Like whatever, call it fucking Casey Masterpiece or whatever the fuck.
Sure. Right.
Sweet Baby Ray's. So Sweet Baby Ray's.
Oh, right? Dude, yeah, right. Sweet Baby Ray's.
Take that, and I get some fucking, and I just start fucking doctoring up, man. I'm adding cayenne. I'm adding all this. I'm dicing jalapenos, roasting jalapenos, and then dicing them and putting it in there. So you get that roasted vegetable kind of flavor in it. Fucking roasted.
Did it have some punch? Have a little heat to it too?
Oh yeah,
those peppers.
That's what you want. It offsets that sweet. You know what I mean? It offsets that sweet. So those motherfuckers were lights out.
Cool.
And like I said, it's a pretty short smoke, but on one side of one of the 5 pound sides, I hit a stall or whatever.
Oh, wow.
And it fucking stalled for about 2 hours, which if you've ever do smoking meat, you get those stalls. And I don't understand. It's like a fucking mystery. Like you're cooking.
So is it like, do you tinfoil then and then crank up the heat, or you just ride it out?
No, you got to let it ride. You got to let it ride.
Okay.
And I don't understand. I don't think anybody understands why it does it. It just fucking does. Like it's still on the heat, still cooking. And you're like, you want to get that to about 195, 200 internal temp on it, whatever. It's so tender, man. But I've made them before, and I made like maybe, I don't know, done both those flavors, but I'll probably only made like maybe a couple pounds at each. And those motherfuckers fly.
Dude, are you feeding an army over there? You're doing pounds of stuff.
Dude, I had 15 pounds of fucking pork belly that I did that way. 2 different ways. Mm-hmm. I had 2 tri-tips.
Wow.
And I had 2 fucking pork shoulders.
Oh.
We had, one of them was a taco, and then the other one is like, you take the pork shoulder and you just put a fucking rub on it, right? Mm-hmm. Rub it.
Mm-hmm.
And then you fucking take brown sugar and you pack that motherfucker with brown sugar like that thick, right?
To start the smoke? You do it to start the smoke, though. Okay.
And the brown sugar is it holds together.
Yeah.
Pack that motherfucker and get that brown sugar about an inch thick on it, right?
Wow.
And you take that shit and you put it in, and you can, like this one, I think we smoked for 24 hours.
Had to.
Super low heat, right?
Mm-hmm.
But what happens is that fucking sugar renders. So that 1 inch of fucking brown sugar on there becomes about this big, and it's a fucking hard crust on it. And when you pull that shit, because it's got all that sugar on it, when you pull it, you pull it in a big fucking bowl and stir that shit up. And every time you take a bite, you're gonna get a little pop of that sugar in there, a little pop of that brown sugar sweet. So it's awesome.
Yeah.
But it's phenomenal. And
it sounds dope, dude.
Yeah, you can just eat that shit with a fork. You know?
That's so cool. That's so cool. Again, I could seriously talk about this all day. I get my girl's like, seriously, you're that guy that's into smoking meat now? I'm like, yeah, I think I always was that guy. I don't know. Yeah. I love that shit. So,
and the only thing I could really take credit for, though, honestly, is the prep. Doing all the prep work, doing the marinade and stuff like that. Because I have a fucking Traeger, and like I would love to take all the credit for fucking smoking this fucking amazing piece of meat, but at the end of the day, you got to give the credit to the Traeger.
Yeah, the Traeger's rad, dude. I was flipping between that and I did a Rectech smoker too, and ended up being, it's got that. Yeah, it's dope. It's got a great thing too, but I want to get a little bit more smoke, and I think the Traeger might have had that. So anyway, shifting gears here a little bit, dude.
You can get those little, it's like a little
tubes, right? Smoker like, tube?
Yeah, it's a tube. And you pack it with thing, and you hit that motherfucker with a blowtorch. You get that bitch going and just throw it in there, and then you're getting, like my Traeger. This new one I have is the fucking. It's got the super smoke on it.
Yeah, I was thinking about getting that one. That's pretty. How does that work, by the way?
780. It's the 780 is the one. I think it's the 780, or maybe it's the 785. I can't remember which one it is.
How do you do that? You just hit a button on there, like hits the super smoke, so it kicks it. Really? Wow.
Yep. But
That's rad.
you can only super smoke to only use super smoke, I think, to 220, 250,
It's got to be
maybe.
those low heats, right?
Got the low heat to
Yeah,
get
yeah.
to. Otherwise, it just doesn't work. And
Hmm.
it'll tell you like, wait, we don't. It doesn't work over 225 or 250. But if you're doing a fucking, I mean, if you really want to fucking smoke some meat, man, like get one, like do a really long smoke. Like do
Sure.
one, like smoke one for fucking 24 hours. And
Yeah,
dude, it is in no matter what you smoke. Could
yeah,
be pork, could be pork shoulder, could be fucking brisket. I mean, that shit is fucking tender.
yeah. I can
Like
imagine. I've been doing
it's
some
insane.
smokes now where I'm getting up, at 6 in the morning and I'm starting the stuff like a pork shoulder and stuff, and it's done 6, 7 in the evening or so. That's the longest I've done so far. But my neighbors are loving it. They love the smell of the
Oh
smoke.
yeah,
Like,
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
smoking meats. Keep going. Like,
Oh
yeah,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
it's
You gotta
great.
give
So
them, you gotta give them a little tray of it though.
yeah, true. So let's shift gears just a little bit, dude. Obviously, Mudvayne being back together and all that, and what's that? I know you've been asked a lot of these questions, and I know you've covered a lot of this ground, so we don't have to rehash it all. But
It's
is
not a
it
big deal.
is it still feeling good for you, dude? I mean, this new path, rolling forward with these boys again. How's that
Yeah,
feel?
I mean it's cool. Like we are who we are. And I think
Hmm.
kind of like how we are with our personalities is almost the dynamic of what makes Mudman great. You know what I mean? So it's like like that kind of, and it's not conflict or whatever, but we just like we test each other. You know what I mean? But I think that comes across in the music we create, and I think
Of
we've always
course.
had that since the beginning or
Hmm.
whatever. And I think that that's one of the things that kind of makes it great is because obviously we overcome it, you know what I mean, and we get through it. But like there are like times when we start writing, man, where it's like, you know, do we want the same thing? Da, 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 da. Like we're trying to mold it.
Sure.
But everybody, the good thing is that everybody in the band's really open minded, and that's what it takes. But everybody, kind of
Yeah.
when we start, like I have a vision, and Matt has a vision, and Ryan has a vision, and Greg's have a vision. They're not always the same. But
Sure.
through that, you bring it together. But you got to give a little, take a little, give a little, take a little. But you got to be willing to do that. But yeah, it's really cool. I mean, I like the dynamic we have. I like the personalities that we have in the band and stuff. And I think that honestly, that's one of the things that makes it great. And I think that's one of the things that make it special. And I think that that's one of the things that like our music is emotional music, whether it's helplessness or fucking anger or aggression or what any fucking gamut. Like our
Hmm.
music definitely covers the gamut of all emotions, and I think that those emotions are what bring people close to our music because
For sure.
they can build a relationship with it. Because I'm not the kind of writer that's like, this is what the song is, this is what the song's about. Da, da, da. I kind of get you going down a road, maybe reel you in a little bit so you kind
Hmm.
of get a vibe on like kind of where I'm at, but I'm giving you off ramps all the way through it where you can take it and make it applicable to your life.
That's
And
awesome.
but
That's awesome.
that's what makes it special because now you're building your own relationship with it,
Truly.
not what I'm telling you the relationship has to be. There's
Love
no
that.
there's no
Yeah.
balance on it. You know what I mean? So it's pretty boundless, and it's up to you whether you choose to come close to it. Maybe some people would be like, fuck that song or whatever. It happens.
Yeah.
But my intention is always to help let people fucking let go of some of their fucking rage, let people remind people that they're not alone in all the fucking bullshit that they may be dealing with in their life
Hmm.
because I've dealt with it, and I basically tell my stories to help people, remind people that I've been through it, and I don't fully go into where I've been, but
Yeah.
I make it known to where there's something there that they can build that solid relationship with. And I think that that's what makes our music special because we're all willing to be that vulnerable.
Yeah.
We're all willing to, because I have to, like, whatever I do lyrically or whatever we do as a band, we definitely have to agree on. If I'm saying something that's just fucking completely out of bounds, the band's gonna call me on it.
Hmm.
They never have because
Yeah.
I don't really
Right.
go, not like hard right or hard left. I'm just kind of like right up
Yeah.
fucking. I mean, so
Are you guys constantly, well, I guess right now, I know you're always working. I know you've always been that way. That's kind of how you do it. But is everyone kind of doing their thing where they add, they send something, with technology these days, you don't have to be in the same room. You don't have to be there all the time in the studio. You're kind of just working at home, sending stuff to each other, bouncing ideas off each other. Is that kind of where you guys are right now? Or have you spent some time together in the studio?
We've done it pretty much every fucking way you can do it at this point.
Sure.
But we did some file sharing and stuff like that. Greg sent around some riffs, and then Matt, because Matt does a lot of like ambient, like fucking style music or whatever on his own or whatever. So like he can definitely program and shit like that. So he programmed some drums, and like obviously when I get that, all I need is basically the guitar riff, and I can start kind of feeling it out for melody and like lyrical direction and shit like that. I don't need necessarily the whole thing. I can just have very basic shit for me to start writing or whatever. And as things calm, obviously I'll course correct it. If there's a really cool rhythmic drum part and I'm not really doing that in more the dumbed down drum version, you know what I mean? Like I'll pick up on something like, oh, that's really cool, so I'm going to follow that or whatever, and I'll just change course. You know what I mean? But I have the nuts and bolts, and that, ultimately that's what file sharing is all about, right?
Sure.
It's about getting the nuts and bolts of what you're wanting to do, and then from there, you go in the studio and you fucking tweak it, and you fucking add harmonies, and you add fucking layers and fucking overdubs and and you can go crazy. You know what I mean? And then really make it special. So I'm excited about that. We haven't done that yet. That's one thing. That's the one thing we haven't done yet, is got in a room with a fucking producer, and producers are invaluable. They really are, because they manage the personalities. And think about the title, producer. You know what I mean? To create and produce something, like that's their job. So whatever the fuck they've got to do with the personalities, the egos, and they've got to. It's like fucking, for them, it's like spinning fucking plates on sticks. I'm sure. It's
especially with, like you said, all the personalities trying to get that to come together.
Yeah, and it's not an easy fucking job at all. But I've got a lot of respect and appreciation for dudes that can do that and bring their knowledge of recording and arrangement and like all the things that they really are supposed to do. That's obviously the most important thing, but all those extracurricular things with balancing all that shit is pretty incredible to watch them balance all the stuff and balance the personalities and balance the egos and but still like hone their craft and do what they do best and help guide you. And ultimately, at the end of the day, they're basically inviting another member into your band, because you're being, again, super fucking vulnerable.
Absolutely.
You're putting it out there. And are you going to, you know what I mean? Like they're basically a sounding board. Like they're the wall that you throw shit at to see if it sticks. And
producers help drive the bus in many ways.
Absolutely. Right. But I've thrown shit at a producer's wall, and maybe it didn't fully stick, but they're like, well, that's really cool, but what if you try this? And I'll be like, well, that's not really my style, but I like where you're going with that. What if I did this? You know what I mean? It's like the power of conversation. It's like the power of conversation, right?
Sure.
You start somewhere, and then like as you converse through the fucking night, drinking beers or smoking weed or whatever, like this fucking little, hey, how you doing, turns into fucking,
right.
The world, fucking changing the world shit.
Right.
It's all just, you know what I mean? So,
that's cool.
Yeah. And it's basically that kind of idea. And it's like, I've always been that way with art, and just because I'm very artistic and working with different people, working with artists and shit like that, even on fucking t-shirt designs or whatever, like, I'll maybe throw something out, and I'll get something completely fucking different than what I threw out back, and I'm like, oh, hold the fuck, pump the brakes here. What is it? But I'll probably get something out of it. I'll probably
a little takeaway,
and then we can redirect, and like finally, after some fucking crazy back and forth, we'll get shit going in the right direction.
How do you know when a Mudvayne song is done and you don't have to touch it? How do you know when it's done for you? Yeah.
How do you know when you're done having sex?
I got you. Well, I guess there's some kind of orgasm or something, and you're like, I'm tired. I'm done. I hear you.
There's just a point where you just got to go. Sure. It's done. And I'm the worst at that.
Sure.
Like fucking Kevin Churka, when I was like writing with Hell Yeah and shit, he's just like,
bro, stop.
Dude, I'm like, what if I don't know if I like that word. He's like, word. You know what I mean? Like, what the fuck are you like? Dude, it's there. You got it. Like, let's just stop. It's done. And sometimes you just be like, it's done. want to talk about,
Yeah.
and I'll fucking keep throwing shit out at me like, nope, and he won't even listen to me.
Huh.
Like,
Yeah, right.
But it is, you have to be that way, and that's another place where the producer comes in.
Right.
They will tell you when it's done.
Right. They're like, look, you got to stop messing with this, dude. This is perfect as it is. Live with it a little bit, maybe. You know what I mean? You come back to it the next day. Sometimes, like, yeah, you know what? That you were right.
Yeah,
you were right.
exactly.
It's perfect. Yeah, it's cool.
And that's exactly what it is, But they are the fucking people that are like, you know what? It's done. It's good. It's fucking great. You know what I mean? Like, quit fucking with it.
So over 10 years without having, Mudvayne on the scene, because obviously you're busy with Hell Yeah and all the things, but is there anticipation for you or excitement, nerves, all the things that come with putting new Mudvayne out there, knowing that the world, everything's evolved. And I would imagine yourself, you've lived, so many things have happened in your lives since the last time y'all put out new music. Not trying to match the times. Y'all are Mudvayne. You're going to put out what that is to you guys, but how important is it to have, that not perfect product, but something like that put out there that, it's vulnerable, right? You're putting that out there. So
honestly, dude, like if we were to go into a studio situation and we were to record something, if every single fucking person on our team, us, the producer, our fucking manager, our fucking lawyer, our fucking everyone, if everyone on our team is not fucking jumping up and down and high-fiving, then it ain't worth putting out.
Wow. Okay.
To me. Sure. I want it to be, I only want to put out, that's just me. I only want to put out fucking great shit.
Of course.
I want to put, and with great shit, it like timeless. You know what I mean? You want to create timeless music, and and you have to ask yourself the question: is that timeless? Is this timeless music, or is this a fucking fad? Are we following something here? Or are we leading something here?
I think that was the point I was trying to get across, without trying to be, following someone else's, path. You guys always carve your own, which is rad, and always has been rad. So how do you, balance that? Not trying to be trendy. You're trying to be Mudvayne. I guess that's what I was trying to say too. So I'm happy to hear you say that. I mean, even dude, classic. Think about that. Like Fall Into Sleep. That song is one of those earworms that stays with me. Sometimes I'll be just walking down the street and just the opening riff of that guitar goes through my head. Then I hear your voice, and it's been going through my head for a decade now, you know what I mean, or more. So writing songs like that, I think that's what you're kind of talking about, right? Having that stay power to it.
And I think the song I think that particular song and a lot of my band songs are as fucking strong as they were the day we wrote them.
Sure.
Even before anybody ever fucking heard them, and just we heard them, and we had that fucking moment in the studio, like fuck yeah,
I can imagine.
This is great,
Yeah.
And then when we release it and we get that fucking, that fucking feedback, and that feedback is fucking important, because I'm very, very, I care about very few things more than I care about my fan base. I care about very, very few things, more than I care about my fans. And when it comes to merch, fuck the clip art. I don't want to just put fucking Mudvayne on a shirt and fucking, you know what I mean? I want it to be something special. I want it to be something that came from me. I want it to be something that encapsulates and screams Mudvayne. You know what I mean?
Guarantee that resonates with the fans. I guarantee it does. You know what I mean?
It's really important to me. It's fucking dime for every time somebody's like, oh my God, you saved my life. We fucking loaded. You know what I mean? It's just and it's just there are those people that say that to me, and I probably have always been this way. Dude, you saved me as much as I've ever saved you.
That's rad.
Without you guys, this is a fucking rehearsal. You know what I mean? Sure. I need
backyard barbecue, man. We're playing music.
Yeah. I need you as bad as you fucking need me on every day. Every fucking day. I'm so thankful that the people that are standing in front of me are standing in front of me. They've given me that opportunity to create and share something that's very personal and very deep with me. And they've allowed me to help them, because it's always my intention to help in any way that I can. And that makes me feel good. It gives me makes me feel good in my heart to know that that I'm helping people that care about me and that I really, really fucking care about.
That's cool, dude. Putting that makeup back on and get in front of those fans, has it done something to your spirit a little bit? Kind of giving you some revitalized kind of a vibe when you guys got back on stage again. You were putting that makeup on for the first time after years. What was that like?
It's fucking incredible.
Yeah.
I mean, it really was, man. And I still fucking love doing it. I'm constantly like trying new shit and fucking whatever. Like, again, just letting it kind of go through whatever metamorphosis that it needs to go through. Like, and just never putting, like, this is what it is. Put a cap on it. Fuck that. You know what I mean? Always change.
Sure.
Always just challenge yourself. You know what I mean? I just fucking got on Amazon there because I don't have anything here at the house. And I just fucking got on Amazon like a week ago and just ordered a bunch of fucking red and black and fucking body paint and fucking, just face paint, and brushes, all this shit. I'm just gonna fucking sit here with a fucking mirror and just go.
Oh, really? Oh, really? Is that how you come up with some of your concepts? Just messing around. That's rad. I had no idea.
But I didn't have anything here at the house, so I fucking got on Amazon and just fucking ordered everything. It just showed up. Or I'll just sit here with a fucking mirror and just
go to town.
And you try different stuff. Like, been wearing the fucking gauze around my eyes and all that shit. I love that. And I think that's going to end up going somewhere more than what it is now. It's been really fucking cool. And I like to have that fucking menacing kind of look. You know what I mean? Like,
the new look I think you did recently. I think when you got back on stage, you had the bibs on, whatever. Just the look in your face looks heavy, just like wow, like powerful is what I mean. It's just rad, dude. So killed it, really cool.
Thank you. It's like fucking that's what we're there to do. Like fucking be us and be intense and fucking like have everybody in the crowd be as fucking intense as we are and just fucking give and give and give. You give, I give, you give, I give, and fucking there's just a crescendo to fucking explosion. That's ultimately what we want.
You got these 33 shows coming out with the Mega Dudes and All That Remains. Obviously, Megadeth is legends, speed metal. I know you love them too. What kind of things do you look forward to playing with, icons like Megadeth?
I mean, dude, those like it's like I've toured with Megadeth before. Oh yeah, it was incredible, and it's like that. Like, you always know where to find me. It was the same
stage catching that set.
Yeah, when we toured front house, bro.
Oh, right on.
Front.
Yeah, smart.
I want to stand where the guy that's mixing is standing because he's gonna that's where it's gonna sound the best.
No doubt.
So yeah, but when I fucking tour with Slayer's my favorite fucking band.
Yeah.
But Megadeth's right up there. Metallica, like all those fucking old speed metal bands, that's like that's my jam. But like when we toured with Slayer every fucking night.
Yeah, just gotta get there and just take it in.
Some nights I just kind of cruise out and just go stand on the side of the stage, but a lot of nights, man, I'd be like, I can go fucking hear this shit out front. And it's the same fucking set list every night.
That's awesome, though.
But it just sounds fucking great. It's so good. And I love the new shit that Carrie's doing. It's fucking amazing. It's fucking
cool.
So good.
That's awesome that you geek on this stuff too, dude. That I've heard that your taste. I think you've mentioned it to me before. That you're really eclectic with the music that you get into, from like Duran to Slayer. You know what I mean?
Yeah, totally. Go fucking listen to that fucking Duran greatest hits record. Tell me fucking that ain't fucking great.
Isn't that good?
You're just like
every song's a hit.
Yeah, like Rio, like goddamn, like just so good.
Yeah, that's cool, man. That's cool. All right, brother. Thanks for your time. They'll cut to the end of this right here, and then that's it. Wrapping up. We'll see you on the 24th in Minneapolis at the Armory with Megadeth. Be well, brother.
All right, man. Be well.
Later.
Bye.